My name is Filippo Rivetti and I'm a filmmaker specialized in time-lapse photography, and today I'm reviewing the Enlaps Tikee Pro2+. It is a self-sufficient time-lapse camera thanks to its internal battery and solar panel. It has a weatherproof design and it has Wi-Fi and 4G connectivity to upload pictures over the internet. It has a compact size, as you can see, is about 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters and only weighs 1.3 kilograms. Its internal battery is 24,000 mAh and it gives about 60 days of autonomy without solar charging and without image upload, and about 20 days with image uploading. It has two cameras in the front, each one with a 1/2.3 inches Sony Exmor-R sensor, 60 megapixel and f2.8 lenses. The cameras can shoot JPEG or RAW DNG, and when the images are stitched together, they give a field of view of 220 degrees, with a final resolution of 7360 by 2650. On the top it has a fully articulated solar panel. It can both tilt up and down and rotate. And it has a magnetic closure. It has a micro USB port for charging, a micro SD slot up to 512 GB, a 4G SIM slot, a metal insert for a padlock, and on the bottom it has a standard 1/4 of an inch thread to attach to any tripod. It also comes with a metal bracket with its own ball head. There are two versions of this camera, the Tikee Pro2 and the Tikee Pro2+. The main differences are price, the final stitched resolution of the images, the GPS module, the maximum storage of the micro SD card, and the battery capacity. The unit I am reviewing is the Tikee Pro2+. So how does it work? You simply turn on the camera. So the camera is controlled through the Enlaps app. It shows you the battery level, the SD status. You can format the SD card, set the GPS mode, update the camera software. You can also set the upload threshold. So in this case, after 100 pictures has been taken, they will be uploaded over the internet. This is so that the camera doesn't connect too many times and doesn't use too much battery. Once we want to start a time-lapse, we just click on this icon, go into time-lapse sequences, and we create a new time-lapse sequence. There are three options. The first option is short-term burst. It gives you the possibility of choosing an interval between 5 and 45 seconds, a starting date, a starting hour, and a duration. It is limited between 100 and 200 pictures. You then choose if you want to upload the images or just keep them on the SD card, and the resolution of the upload images could be from small till full size. And you can also choose if you want to also store the images on the SD card. In the end, you can just give them a name, and then you would just ask if you want to start the sequence immediately. The second option is short-term events. The interval is between 5 and 45 seconds, same as the short term. You can still put the starting date and the starting hour, and a duration. In this case, you can take between 100 and 6,000 pictures. The only difference is that you can only shoot in JPEG and it cannot upload any images. The last option, and the most interesting one, is the long term. You can choose an interval as little as 1 minute and as long as 24 hours. You can choose a starting hour and an end hour for each day, a starting and an end date. You can also choose active days, so for example, it doesn't shoot during the weekend. You can choose the image format, so shooting in RAW or in JPEG, but only the JPEG can be uploaded over the internet. You can choose again the size of the uploaded images, and you can choose if you want to store them on the SD card as well. An interesting aspect is that you can have two sequences shooting at the same time, so for example a long-term sequence as well as a short-term sequence. So once a camera has been set up and is shooting, you just go online on my.tikee.io. You log in with your credential into your account, and you can see all the projects that have been shot up to now and the one that I've been shooting. You can also create new time lapses if you didn't have the option of automatically uploading the images from the camera over Wi-Fi or 4G. Let's have a look, for example, at one shot that I've done in Kirribilli, a sunset overlooking the beautiful Sydney. You can see a preview of what has been shot so far. You can go then into more details. You can filter the picture by date and by time. And you can automatically create a time lapse with a maximum duration. You can set the maximum duration up to 1 minute. You can also choose which days to show. And you can also create a little pan and zoom animation from starting until the end frame. And then you can download this time lapse. So a very easy workflow, but it's all done remotely by the Enlaps service. So I have been trying the camera on a long-term time lapse just over my balcony, and it was about 1 month long. The battery never dropped below 40%, even though there were many rainy days. I then shot just few sunset time lapses around Sydney. So in conclusion, what do I like about the camera? Definitely its compact design. It's an all-in-one solution, very easy to use, with a very straightforward workflow. You pretty much just set it up and leave it there. And what I don't like? Mainly, I would say the price. Even though it's lower than a dedicated DSLR setup, it's still quite steep. Also, the advanced workflow, where you shoot in RAW, DNG, it's quite complicated. You need to download each picture on your computer and process each left and right picture separately. Then you have to export them as JPEG, upload them on the Enlaps server, and then let them stitch them together, and then prepare the time lapse. I honestly didn't see a big improvement in quality, and I would just stick to the normal JPEG workflow. However, I would still love to have the possibility to shoot in both RAW and JPEG at the same time, while uploading only the JPEG over the internet, and this is not possible at the moment. Another thing that I would love to have is an integrated bubble level. That's because when you're setting up the camera, you have to position it as straight as possible, otherwise the stitching won't work perfectly. I would definitely use this camera on some long-term project where I need to set up the camera and I will not have the chance to access it for a long period of time. And what about you? Is this something you would use for your projects? Just leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.